I'm gonna yap about the Ninja Frankie AU because why not? I'm just gonna talk about the whole timeline, and I think it makes sense. Yeah, let's just do that. So starting with the Monster High stuff, everything in season 1 happens. Like, nothing has changed about that. It all changes a bit when season 2 rolls around, as like Frankie goes quote unquote missing and obviously turns human and all that. Now, there is a reason why they turned human, okay? So in the headlock video, you can see like there's like a camera, like, well, obviously I can imagine Monster High having school cameras, but it's not that. Basically someone had been watching Frankie for a long time and had used magic to turn them into a human. So this makes Frankie lose all their memories, or not all of them. Like, they still have fragments of memories of, like, the Boo Crew and all that. Mostly memories of Claudine and Draculaura. But regardless, some time passes, and Ed and Edna find Frankie and decide to adopt them. Also, this is just completely random. I don't remember how old Frankie is in, like, the beginning / like middle of season 2 of Monster High. I don't remember how old they are. My point is, their age is not the same as they were when they were Frankenstein. They are the same age as they are, like, mentally, so this makes Frankie a 15 or 16-year-old human depending on the part of the timeline. So there is that. And I'm just going to preface this. I'm not giving Frankie an assigned gender as a human because A, that doesn't matter, B, that's fucking weird. Though there is this, Frankie does deal with transphobia because of their appearance. People automatically assume that they are a girl, but that's just what people do. I mean, this happens in real life too. Anyway, back to the timeline stuff. Because of everything that's happening in this part of season 2, no one can do anything. Like, they try to look for Frankie, but are forced to give up because they have too many things to do. So they just hope that they just come up, I guess. I don't know. I didn't really think much of this through, especially because I only watched the story-relevant episodes of season 2. Anyway, as for the Ninjago side of things, everything kind of rolls out the same, except for Jay and Nia. They don't become a thing. Because I'm not making Frankie cheat on their girl. As for how Frankie found their true potential, it's like the same thing, like the whole I like you when you're you thing, just if Nia didn't kiss them on the cheek. So, yeah, it's pretty much the same. As for the weird love triangle shit in season 3, that straight up doesn't happen because I'm sorry, I'm not in the mood for that. So basically, Ninjago's seasons 1 and 2 happen, and in season 2, when they get turned into kids, that's how everyone found out that Frankie was originally a Frankenstein. And when they turned back to normal, Zane looked into it and figured out that Frankie was originally a student at Monster High. But the thing is, because Frankie is destined to be a blue ninja, they can't just straight up go back to school at that moment, because the ultimate battle was coming, and they had to train the Green Ninja. So there was no helping that situation whatsoever. Soon after season 2, it's the middle of Monster High season 2, and after Ninjago season 2, Claudine and Cleo decided to visit Ninjago for shits and giggles until they see a familiar face. They are initially shocked, but originally Cleo believes that it's just a look-alike. It cannot be Frankie because it's a human. Frankie's not a human. But little do they know, yeah, it is. Alright, so season 4 rolls around. Nothing much changes. It's just season 4 until after. The ninja are having a break for the most part, fighting some villains here and there, until one of them tricks Frankie into thinking that their old friends were actually villains this whole time. So once they have their reunion, they actually have a fight until Draculaura manages to calm them down and say that it was a misunderstanding, that they didn't abandon Frankie or anything. They thought Frankie went missing. Like, yeah. Also, I know Kai does the same shit with his parents in season 7, but I just thought that was a funny parallel. So basically, in a nutshell, season 4 happens. Blue Crew gets reunited, have a fight, then calm down, then everyone's just chill. Now, finally, for season 5. In the beginning, Frankie is still a human at this point. They sometimes do go to visit their friends, or their friends go to visit them. But otherwise, Frankie cannot go to Monster High as they are too busy, and they're a full human, so they can't just attend. Until the middle of season 5, where Cole gets turned to a ghost. Soon after this, Frankie does get turned back into a Frankenstein. So the rest of season 5 happens, and Frankie is a ninja and a student part-time. So, no more drama. As for everything else, I have no idea. Like, Skybound, I'm pretty sure that was a J-focused season, but it also had a bunch of Jaya scenes, so I have no idea how I would make that make sense, first of all. And as for Dragons Rising, I'm just going to say that straight up does not happen because I'm not going to have Frankie have memory issues twice. I haven't even watched much of Dragons Rising to begin with. Like, I watched the first half of the first episode and a bunch of edits about Jaya. So that's basically the entire timeline, which is basically all of Monster High and Ninjago seasons 1 through 5, and the pilots, of course. So, yeah, I think this timeline makes a little bit of sense, at least. I'm honestly proud that I actually managed to make a timeline make kind of sense. Like, a little bit of sense. Because I fucking suck. Like, I absolutely suck at making timelines make sense. Like, have you seen my FNAF AU? The timeline for that shit makes no sense. But, yeah, at least this AU kind of has a coherent timeline. Let me know what you think. Thanks for listening to me yap.